Hi everyone, thank you for joining me today. Today I am going to show you a very simplistic way of how to make Spider-Man webbing for your 6-inch Marvel Legend figures. Now, it's a very simplistic way to do this, and I hope that this helps people out. So first off, the first thing you're going to need is some wiring. So this is something I picked up at Hobby Lobby, and I ended up picking it up in the jewelry aisle, and I actually have the example right here, and it's called On the Wire. And the great thing about this wire is that it's vinyl coated bead wire and it's white. So basically what you have here is a wire that's covered in vinyl coating, so it's already white, so there's not much to do other than just use it. And if you need to want to paint it afterwards, it's pretty much you can do that on it. It's pretty easy. Now, because I picked this up at Hobby Lobby, I also had a 40% coupon, which means it knocked this down up to $1. So it was a pretty good deal. So if you have a Hobby Lobby near you, it's always best to try and pick this up when you can. The second item you're going to need is obviously some wire cutters, so that these wire cutters can cut the wiring that you have with you. And the third thing you're going to need is a pencil or something that looks like a tubing of some sort, just to help you out. So let's just get going and we'll see how this ends up looking. Now the first step you're going to want to do is basically you're going to just pick up the wire, undo it as best you can, and you're just going to get as much wiring as you can. Like I'm just going to measure it from here to here, it doesn't matter, and cut it off. Put the wire aside, put the wire cutters aside, and then we're going to go and use this. Now we're going to use this pencil as a way to hold the wire in place as we bent it in half and go straight to the edge of it. Now once you have that and you have the pencil holding the wire in hand, you are going to twist it all the way. Keep twisting it as you hold on the other side and you're twisting the wire. It'll take a few moments, but it will start to twist up really nicely. It always is best to try to put some music on as you do this, so that way you can keep yourself busy. So now once you have it twisted enough and you're satisfied with it, what you're going to do now is you're going to go up to the end of the wire and you're just going to grab both ends and just bend it so that it looks sort of like a little nub or some sort, just like that. You don't have to cut or anything, you just bent it. Therefore, and then you have this holding it. Now the second thing you're going to do now is you're going to get another piece of wire and you're just going to keep stretching it out as much as you can. Then you're going to cut it again. Now on this end, or any end, you're going to end up grabbing the wire and you're going to slightly bend it to a point where it's like a hook, a very, very small hook. Now what you're going to do now is get your other pencil with the wire and you're going to insert this little hook into the wiring corner right there. Once it's securely in there, what you want to do now, what I tend to do is I tend to go on the opposite twist end. So if this is going that way, I'm going to go the opposite way and I'm just going to be twisting around that wire. I'm going to twist a little bit close by together, as you can see. Once I got that, then I'm going to just swirl around the wiring, and once I get about an inch or two away, then I'm going to just twist even more together to create sort of like a gap as the webbing is trying to go out. It's wrapping itself, and you keep going again. I'm going to wrap around once again, stop every inch or two, wrap it 2 or 3 times together, then you just go across easily. You can see that. Then you wrap there. See if you can see how that's looking. If I can get this to focus better. Therefore, as you keep going, you're going to keep wrapping and wrapping, and once you get to the end, you have a lot of excess wire, which is okay because frankly you have enough wiring in the side, so you don't have to worry about any of that. So then what you do is at the end of it all, you're going to twist it all around at the edge. Keep twisting it all around, and then what you're creating is a ball, a little ball effect at the tip of the webbing. So what it ends up looking is like as though all of Spider-Man's webbing is condensed into this one edged area. So once you're satisfied how much the ball is, you'll just cut the wiring, and you want to tuck that in somehow into the wire, and you could always just press it together with your fingers, and it should look like a ball like that. Let's see if I can focus. Apologize if this focusing isn't great. There you go. So as you can see, at the end of it all, you have pretty good wiring, and all you have to do now is take it off at the edge of the pencil, or to whatever it is you use, and you just keep twisting it a little bit, and there you go. You have yourself some Spider-Man webbing. Let me show you now. All you got to do now is, if you have a figure like Spider-Man that has detachable arms, or hands actually, you want to open that up, put this in the loop, and then twist it a little bit as much as you can. Then you're going to insert it right back into the hand, therefore creating that look as though he just shot it out of his hands. And the really great thing is, the wiring itself is really thin when you get it from when you buy it, but once you spin it around and create this webbing, it reinforces it everywhere, so therefore he holds it. So for example, I can have him standing in a very awesome pose, shooting his webbing, and it takes a while because you gotta balance it out, so it looks pretty cool. Another thing, but because of it all, you can just twist it up into a round ball, and then twist around, making sure that it's secure. Now it looks as though he just shot it out in a very unique style. So it's really cool. It works really well. Another thing you can do with this wiring that I ended up doing, but I'm not showing in this demonstration, is I ended up painting wire. So this is a longer wire that I did, and as you can see close up, see if it focuses, I painted inside of the wiring with some black, and that kind of creates a little bit more of a depth inside of the wiring, so that way it looks pretty cool, and it works really, really well. Another figure, you could possibly also use it for if you have Marvel Select Spider-Man, who also has detachable hands. Just do that. Place this inside, and then click it in, and also once it's clicked in, you could also twist it up more, and it holds pretty darn well, and it looks pretty good for the fact that now you have two versions of Spider-Man with webbing, give or take a couple ways to fix it. Of course, I didn't twist this not good enough, but you'll get the general idea. Now, the great thing about all of this is that you can make as much webbing as you can, and you don't really have to worry about it breaking, because if it breaks at some point, I mean, if you mess around with it so much, it just will break. But with the wiring you have and how easy the process is, you don't really have to worry about it too much. And so it just becomes really cool to have all your figures with webbing like Venom. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope this video was instructive and helpful, and if you like to show your appreciation, please click the like button and let me know your comments and concerns or any questions about it. And until next time, see ya.